Hello, Dungeon Masters! This is your RPG Archivist, and before I forget, spoilers! Sorry about the last two videos. When you're up in the AM, it's a little low energy, and, I don't know, those last two videos, they were informative, but boy, my energy was really low. You know, it happens when you get up first thing in the morning and immediately decide, oh, this is the only opportunity I have to do a video. But not so today, and it's a good thing, because I expect this one to be another long one. What we're talking about is the first three quests on the quest board in Dragon of Icespire Peak. I'm going to do them in order, and I'm going to talk about them, their pros, cons, because I've actually ran this. We're currently running through a Dragon of Icespire Peak game at the moment, and we're not done with it yet, but we will be probably before the year's out if I would just stop adding things. So here we go. Let's start with the first one, Umbrage Hill Quest. Yeah, these are the handy little cards that they give you for in Dragon of Icespire Peak. One of the nice perks of the box set, regardless what I end up thinking about the adventure, these cards are a nifty little idea. I like them. So, let's read this off, shall we? Umbrage Hill Quest. The local midwife, an acolyte of Shantae named Adobra Gwyn, lives by herself in a stone windmill on the side of the hill a few miles south of Phandelin. With dragon sightings becoming common, it's not safe for her to be alone. Urge Adabra? I'm terrible with names. To return to Phandelin. Once she's safe, visit Townmaster Harbin Wester to claim a reward of 25 gold pieces. Alright, this is one of three that are up on the board. Let's go to the Umbrage Hill Quest, which I believe it's toward the back. I got it marked today. Now, this game had one thing good going for it for me, personally. I run my game, or at least this game, over Discord. And I don't use any fancy stuff like Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 or any of that. So, it's all theater of the mind. So, this nice simple map made it fairly easy to run this quest. So, you're thinking, oh, let's go to the midwife. Hey, look, there's a dragon. Of course, it can't be that easy. You go to the windmill. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And you say, you look around and there is a manticore. A manticore is threatening the windmill. And the poor lady is up on the third floor going, help! So, what do the players do? Well, they got to find a way to get around the manticore. Which I think is hilarious. You're going there to warn her about a dragon, and she's already being threatened by something big, mean, and menacing, and frankly quite dangerous. There is one flaw with this particular encounter. Manticore is a beast. I think it's a CR4 creature for a level 1 group that's just starting, and if this is meant to teach beginning players Dungeons and Dragons, it's a pretty steep curve. Part of me likes that, though. Part of me is like, look, some encounters you can't just fight your way through. But they did. They went in. They tried a little bit of stealth. One of the guys went around the building and tried to talk to her. Now, the adventure says that the manticore can be bribed if you give him like 50 gold pieces worth of treasure. As it so happens, the midwife makes potions of healing that happen to cost 50 gold pieces. So you could, if any of your players are clever, they might think about that if it even got brought up to begin with. So, my group ended up fighting the manticore, however. And the manticore was just, oh my gosh, multiple attacks in the tail, and just, oh my goodness. I went outside the box a little bit. I remembered rules from the old Beckme days called morale. And morale was something that most monsters had in the old days. And what it meant was if certain situations came up, you rolled to see if they were going to break from battle. And I figured that this circumstance, this Manticore, would in fact break from the battle. Reason being is the Barbarian is a beast also. They have a Dragonborn Barbarian in their group, and this person just wailed and even crit. And the Manticore was well below half hit points by round 3? I think it was round 3. I don't remember. They did a number on him. In fact, I keep underestimating how powerful characters are in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. I really need to up my game. And I probably shouldn't have rolled for morale. I probably should have just let them fight it. But I didn't. I rolled for morale, and the Manticore broke. The Manticore said, that is a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. I'm out of here. So that was the Umbrage Hill quest. This is a potential TPK, total party kill. Because a Manticore, even just one Manticore at level 1 is a tough fight. But that's the first quest. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other quests. Dwarven Excavation. Dwarf prospectors found ancient dwarven ruins in the mountains southwest of here and have begun an archaeological dig for treasure and relics. They need to be warned that a white dragon has moved into the area. Take the warning to them, then return to the townmaster Harbin Wester to collect a reward of 50 gold pieces. I don't know why the midwife is 25 gold pieces and the dwarves are 50 gold pieces. I don't know. But I guess because there's 2 of them? I don't know. But let's turn to it real quick. Okay. Dwarven Excavation. So you got your walls, and you got the ruined town, and you go, and this is like effectively a shrine type area. Ruined, of course. And the dwarves are like, there is a monster in there, we escaped, and we want somebody to kill him. So you're basically, hey, there's a dragon, so they're like, yeah, whatever. Hey, look, we got a problem. Could you deal with that? This is something that seems to happen in every single one of these quests. You go in to do something that seems easy, and you're going to get paid for it. And you go there, and there's more going on. Not a complaint, just an observation, because I think that's kind of cool. That works. But this adventure is not. This is my least favorite of the 3. I'm going to do a slight deep dive here, because there's some problems with this one. You're going to come up into the shrine. This is where most of the action happens. This is where most everything is. Once you defeat what's in this room... Oh, hey, dog. I'm going to ignore you for a bit, because I am busy. Tell you what, let me... oh, he's not looking up. I can't show you his cute little face, because he's minding his own business, I guess. Anyway, this is the problem. Everything happens here, right? Everything gets done. After that, you got one more monster encounter here in this hallway, and the rest of it is just walking around empty halls. And that's really mostly it. Finding secret doors, going through empty halls. And I think this is the worst part. If you get to the end, like at the very end, if you have to spend time to clear this out, because you can see a green glow coming from this room here. And if they go investigate, they find a dwarf statue of a Dwarven god, and this Dwarven god is like evil. I forget the god's name, but he's like a god of greed of some sort. So you go in, and he's holding this glowing green gem. Ooh, tempting, right? It's a trap. That is terrible. That's really punishing players for curiosity. It's not good. You got to have some kind of reward other than, hey, we cleared the place. But yeah, everything's here. Once this is done, everything else is boring, repetitive, and it ends, if you go through the very end of it, it's a trap. Dwarven Excavation is dull. It doesn't actually get interesting again until the very end. I guess they threw this in at the end just because it says that when the players leave, there's a group of orcs that have been ran out of the Sword Mountains. They're looking for a place to stay, and then they go in and they fight to the death. No role play, no nothing. It's like, hey guys, what's going on? We're gonna kill you all. Well, to be fair, that is pretty much what orcs do, but I don't know. Dwarven Excavation was terrible. Okay, my third and final, let's see, Nomen Guard. Let's read this one. Clan of reclusive rock gnomes resides in a small network of caves in the mountains to the southeast. The gnomes of Nomen Guard are known for their magical innovations. They might have something with which to defeat the dragon. Get whatever you can from them. If you bring back something useful and don't want to keep it for yourselves, Town Master Harbin Wester will pay you 50 gold pieces for it. Guys, I'm going to put a little to be continued here. Maybe I'll splice the two videos together, but my dog is getting that pathetic look on his face like I really need to go outside. So I tell you what, I'm going to call it quits for just a moment, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Take 2. Hello, Dungeon Masters. Welcome to Nomen Guard, the third and final part of the first 3 quests that you get from Dragon of Icespire Peaks. This is the best of the 3, in my opinion. This is exploration and roleplay mostly. This is Nomen Guard, where you have the Rock Gnome Recluses. It is a complex, kind of a small city, if you will. We've got your dining areas and some experimental area and a little storage and a guard post and more experimentations and sleeping quarters and a throne room and more storage. It's a fully thought out complex. It's got everything but a bathroom, but let's face it, how many dungeons have you seen with bathrooms? Anyway, there is this little area here which is kind of neat. There are 3 different colors of mushrooms, and this is where they get their food and their drink and their oil from. Their oil for lighting up the caves. They use the oil to use lamps. There is, of course, a magical effect here that does some weird stuff to magic. It effectively puts a permanent wild magic effect throughout the area, which is a lot of fun. We had a sorcerer in the group, and he was doing that. I told him, you know that thing you do? It is effectively on all the time here. And he said, cool. He was down with it. So, there's a waterfall here, which is actually important. When they had the waterfall here, I thought, oh, this must be for comedic effect, because the rock gnome recluses are kind of funny. They are very oblivious to the danger that they're in. There's only like one guy in the entire complex that knows that there's something up, and the others are like really concentrating on their work. As these gnomes are really focused on just doing their job and little else. And I really played it up when the group was going through it. Oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, he went to the bathroom and never came back. I guess he's just went to sleep or something. It's funny because these are rock gnomes. Rock gnomes. They live underground primarily. As you can see, there's no windows here. So I imagine that these gnomes probably work in shifts. And they have no concept of day-night cycles as we know them. So they don't know whether it's day or night outside. It's like working at the mall. You don't know what time of day it is until you leave the building. So there's this waterfall making all this noise, and I'm thinking, oh, well, they must have put that in for effect, because it says in most of these rooms, the rooms nearest the waterfall especially, that the waterfall, unless there's a door separating, that waterfall makes so much noise that you have to yell in order to be heard. Because, casual conversations are not easy. But as I'm reading the adventure, I find out that where there is a noisy waterfall, no one could hear you scream. Yes, folks, this is a mystery, and it's effectively alien. Once I realized this was alien, it all came together. Now, there's some clues you could follow to find that the players could follow that might take them straight to the enemy, which I'm going to spoil it here. I said spoilers ahead of time anyway. A mimic. There's a mimic stalking the halls of Nomen Guard. And having a lot of fun with that. The clues are there, believe it or not. They really are. And a casual player probably isn't going to notice. If they follow the clues, they'll find out where the mimic is. At least in the room that the mimic is in. My players didn't catch on, but that's okay. We still had a good time. What I did is, after a while, when the players couldn't figure out what else to do, they were all super paranoid. Like anything could be this shape-changing monster that attacked the king. Yeah, there's two kings here, and one king has locked the other king away for his safety. It's weird, but yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, play the gnomes as just eccentric and kind of addle-brained and hyper focused on their jobs, on their tasks. Your mad scientist types. Even the kitchen workers are going to be like that. So what I did is, there was a gnome in the kitchen who had one of these devices that would carry things. I forget, the crab mechs, I think they called them. And they were delivering a barrel back over to where the wine is. And the players were just doing their thing, and eventually they went to this area and to look for the guy, and the guy was gone. So the mimic got him. So I started having fun with that, and the mimic in my game was going to prowl the halls, picking everybody off one by one. And the players had to find where this mimic was. And because they had went through the entire building, they literally searched every single space in the building. And they finally end up in the crossbow room again. And they specifically asked, hey, is there anything new in here? Anything different in here? And aha. And I had them roll an intelligence check, and sure enough, there was a blackboard that did not belong. and they had found the Mimic. And it was a nice fight. It was a lot of great role-playing opportunities. Nomen Guard was fun. I enjoyed Nomen Guard a lot. Of the three, this is the best. So, overview of the first three. You know what? No, before I do the overview, let me go instead. That's the map of Phandelin. I need the map. You know what? I have mad editing skills now. Sort of. Kind of. I'm going to stop the recording again, and I'm going to find the map that I need. I'm going to get the big map. Be right back. Okay, folks, we are on the home stretch here. This is the big map of the area. This is the really nice map that came with the Dragon of Icespire Peak boxed set. And I just want to show you the locations of the places in the box set. There, of course, is Phandelin. This is Umbrage Hill, Dwarven Excavation, and Nomen Guard. And my players took it in exactly that order. Here to here to here to here. And obviously they were going to go to the most dangerous one first, because that was the closest. And it looked like the easiest of all of the other scenarios to do. Even though I was on Discord, they couldn't see the map. They asked which is closer, how far are they, how long is the travel, blah, blah, blah. They asked all those questions. And they did exactly what I thought they would do. It was either going to be here to here to here, or here to here to here. And they did here to here to here. So yeah, that potential TPK is right up at the front, almost no matter what you do. But let me give you an overview. Umbrage Hill, great scenario. Might be a little tough for your players, especially new players. But it's not too egregious. It's not bad. I like it. A good DM could work with that. Dwarven Excavation, boring. Did I mention it was boring? I'm sorry. Maybe it was just the day I was having. I found Dwarven Excavation to be extremely dull. Once you've done with the shrine, you're done. Dungeon Masters, do yourself a favor and pretend all those other tunnels have been collapsed. And, or fill them with something, anything to make it interesting. Yeah, just do the shrine part and call it a day and then move straight on to the orcs. Nomen Guard. This is going to test your role-playing skill. It is fun on a bun, guys. I love it. Nomen Guard was a great time. Remember, it's Alien. Play it like it's Alien. But of course, keep all the fun goofiness of the gnomes in as well, because it's for comic relief, and it also adds to a little bit to the believability that they don't notice that there's something wandering the halls, killing them. But yeah, overall, they're hit or miss. You got the good, the bad, and the ugly. No, it should be the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Manticore is the ugly. This one was good. This one was just bad. So, yeah. Dragon of Icespire Peak, the first 3 quests. Okay, I think that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say about it. This is your RPG Archivist, and see ya.